A day after we took this 2 years ago, my dad fell to his death in the Olympic Mountains. I miss him terribly. After he died, though, an astonishing thing happened that still fills me with gratitude and hope. Here's how 3 strangers... That's really good. Okay, I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna get through it. Here's how 3 strangers saved this photo from being lost forever. And it's a picture of her and her dad. The accident. On the second day of the week-long Bailey Range Traverse, a backcountry hike, our party of 5 got off route and my dad fell down a steep gully. He tumbled out of sight. I dropped my pack and climbed downwards over steep scree towards the place where he disappeared. He died in the fall, his body stopping tenuously above yet another drop. We struggled to move him amid sliding scree. There was serious rockfall. Later, a team from Naswi Sar winched my dad, then me, out of that gully into a Blackhawk. The pack was the last thing on my mind. Both Naswi Sar and Olympic NP showed so much compassion that day. The Navy SAR team lowered from a hovering helicopter into an unstable situation. Staff from the Olympic National Park met me at the helipad, brought me to a quiet place, called a funeral home.
You're killing me right now.
I'm so sorry, everyone. Okay, sorry for that brief interruption. I've composed myself now. Staff from the Olympic National Park met me at the helipad, brought me to a quiet place, called a funeral home, booked a hotel. In the stunned days after my dad's death, I began to bitterly regret the loss of the final images of his life. They were on my cell phone, in my backpack, at the top of the gully. Strapped to the outside of my pack was an ice axe my dad carried for more than 50 years. Meanwhile, after driving us to the trailhead, my mom had met a friendly family from Forks, Washington. They'd done the Bailey Range Traverse multiple times, and we exchanged phone numbers. A week after my dad's death, she said, quote, "I want to ask them if they'll look for your pack." That seemed totally wild to me, unreasonable, but I didn't want to shut her down. We were all off the hinges with grief and shock and trauma. Who was I to tell her what she could do? I felt sure they would say no. Anyways, she called. Quote, "We'll pray about it," they said. Some orientation, the Bailey Range Traverse is not a well-built trail. It's just a route. When my dad fell, we were a little off that route. It was a day and a half from the road. I didn't know exactly where. My pack weighed at least 50 pounds. They called back to say they were going in. 3 members of that family walked for 4 days, 2 in and 2 out, to look for my pack. I worried for their safety. I thought they'd never find it. Then the phone rang. Fucking A, keep it together, bitch! They found it, split the pack up 3 ways, and carried it all back out. They walked for 4 days. Every day I see that last selfie I took with my dad. It's pinned to the wall by my desk. But my favorite of the rescued photos is this one, from the morning of his death. He's studying a map at dawn, sitting in a field of avalanche lilies. In the background is Mount Olympus.
Oh.
No, if you lose it, I'm going to lose it again. He spent a lifetime seeking out high places and taught me to love them too. Once he told me, quote, "If I die someday in the mountains, I won't think I've chosen the wrong life." I don't think he did either. So much gratitude for Naswi Sar, who answered my SOS, and Olympic NP staff who met us with compassion. This family's extraordinary generosity will touch me for the rest of my life. When I remember my dad, I remember them too. Kindness always matters.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
It really is, Lauren. And that's it for this episode of Deep Wounds. These emotional support animals did nothing but make us crazier.
They really did.
They didn't help in any positive way.
Oof.
Isn't that beautiful?
So beautiful.
And to I just can imagine the first thing you're concerned with in that moment is fuck your stuff. You gotta rappel down and make sure your dad's okay. And then
yeah.
afterwards when, he's gone, you're just like, fuck, I just lost like the last bit of him that I had. And the pictures are beautiful. You'll see them on YouTube or the Two Hot Takes Instagram. I'll be sure to post them so you guys can see them if you're listeners. But life is full of these stories that shape us and cause these deep wounds and trauma. And it's what we can make out of it and how we can heal and live the rest of our life happily as possible.
Well, and I like that you ended with that, because I do think it's a good reminder after a lot of the stories that we talk about that humans are amazing too.
Yeah.
You know?
That family that went in after just meeting them, passing on the trail.
Yeah.
It was a blink. It was a blink. They just met them and saw them in their darkest moment. It was a blink. And they were willing to go risk their lives because her dad died on that. Where they left that pack, that's how he fell and died. And they were willing to risk their lives and walk 4 days for complete strangers.
That's amazing.
Amazing. Sorry, I interrupted you. I'm just like, this
No,
story, like
that
when
was-
I read it, I'm like, I'm so glad I accidentally opened up that folder today when I was like going through my panic before we started and I couldn't get my stories to load.
Yeah.
I accidentally opened that folder and I was like, oh my God, like thank God I did, because the tweet, when I liked it, there were only 12,000 likes on that tweet from the screen grabs. So I don't know how far it made it, but I think it's a story that is so incredible.
Yeah. Well,
I want you to finish what you were saying. I interrupted you. You were saying humans and something important.
No, what you said was great. I just think it's really important after we talk about these crazy ass fucking Reddit stories. It's great to remember how selfless and kind humans can be. And it's really beautiful to hear stories like this. So I'm glad that you shared.
Sorry, I caused us all undue emotional duress.
I know. And it's kind of, and I was thinking about it too, because
It's not a good palate cleanser. Like, I feel like we need another one to like recoup after that one.
No, but I feel like I should remind everyone too, who's not looking at the video, that I was laugh crying.
I think like we're both like,
because I
no, you were
realized-
laughing at me trying to say sliding and I kept saying sliming.
No, I know, but they're like anyway, it doesn't matter. But
Great episode.
God
Good talk.
Good talk.
Good talk. Yeah, no, that's it.
That's it.